Growing a business is kind of tricky right now. Supply chains are squeezed, tariffs and trade policies are dynamic, and cash flow, it's tighter than ever. You need clarity to come out on top. Without it, you risk falling behind. If only you could hop in the DeLorean and see the future, right? Thankfully, there's NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite has real-time forecasting to help you move ahead with confidence. This is your AI-powered business management suite and the #1 cloud ERP. Trusted by over 42,000 businesses, NetSuite brings accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all under one roof. It's your single source of truth, giving you the data and control you need to move quickly. And with AI built in, you can automate the busy work and focus on strategy. NetSuite helps you see what's stuck, what it's costing you, and how to pivot fast. If I were running a business with a lot of moving parts, I'd use NetSuite for full control over everything. Tame the chaos with NetSuite. If your revenues are at least in 7 figures, download the free ebook, Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders at netsuite.com/SPI. That's netsuite.com/SPI. The perfect product launch. It's the goal for every brand marketer. High heat, fast sellout, and fans posting recipes like trophies. What do Sydney Sweeney's soap drop, Taylor Swift's tickets, and your next launch have in common? Well, they're not bought, they're bragged about. Fanfare turns your drop into a moment. Fanfare cues real fans, blocks bots, and builds launch experiences worth screenshotting. Want hype without the heartbreak? Get Fanfare's 5-step hype drop playbook with our proven success formula and make your next launch unforgettable at fanfare.io/playbook. Again, fanfare.io/playbook.
You're listening to the Smart Passive Income Podcast, a proud member of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network, a show that's all about working hard now so you can sit back and reap the benefits later. And now your host. Whenever he hears someone say, pat on the back, he wants to jump on him. Pat Flynn.
This episode airs on June 9th, and that date, or I guess today, if you will, if you're listening to this when this comes out, is a historical date in my life, my career, in the world of Pokemon, perhaps, because this is the first day of my event that's happening in Anaheim, California, that I'm hosting. And right now, we're exactly a month away from that event, so we're getting a little time lapse or a time jump here. I like time travel. So if you're listening to this right now, the event will have already started. And hashtag card party, it could be good, it could be bad, I don't know. Now, I'm going to do everything in my power to make it great. And I wanted to bring you inside of my brain just for a little bit because I'm going through some stuff. Now, nothing crazy. And I say that because I felt these exact same feelings before. These are the feelings that once almost stopped me from creating my entire business back in 2008. These are the same feelings that almost stopped me when I started my YouTube channel in 2009. This is the same kind of thing that I've been experiencing since I started all this stuff, since I started doing things that were not inside my comfort zone. But each of these things, the blog I started in 2008, the YouTube channel in 2009, this podcast in 2010, speaking on stage in 2011, writing books in 2013, publishing online courses in 2017, building a community in 2020. These are all things that made me feel this exact same way. So this is no stranger to me. And I know what these feelings mean. This feeling of self-doubt, this feeling of being scared and nervous, this feeling of, is everybody going to laugh in my face about this thing? This feeling of just wanting to crawl into a hole and questioning why I'm even going down this in the first place. And I know from experience that feeling, this feeling that I'm feeling right now, prior to this event happening, which again is happening at the time that this episode, like right now, for you, a month away for me, that it means there's a possibility of something absolutely epic, awesome, incredible, valuable, life-changing, tasty, yes, tasty, and worth it. This will be worth it. And I am expecting hiccups. I'm expecting some stones that were not unturned, that, I don't know if that's the right phrase, but things that perhaps were overlooked. And I want people to come back from this event and go, despite those things, if they happen to find them or experience them, it was worth every minute. And if it was worth every minute to be there, then it will be worth the dollar amount that they will have paid to buy a ticket, to fly out or drive and stay at the hotel and participate in activities and events, and ultimately to trust me. It's scary. This is a huge deal. At the time of this recording, we have nearly 1,500 tickets sold. That's right, 1,500 tickets sold. People coming from all over the world, some of the largest Pokemon YouTube creators in the room. And I think they're expecting something big. They're expecting a good time. But I also know that their expectations are set from the prior experiences that they have had, different events that they've attended. I'm talking about the creators and the fans that are going to be there. And I'm just, first of all, wanting to thank my team. To give you a little insight on who the team is, there's the team at Deep Pocket Monster. It's myself, my producer, Dan Patrick Norton, and my editor, Zach, our Discord community manager, Jay, and then we recently hired another editor, Chris, to do some work for us. So pretty relatively small team. But this event definitely would not have happened without Dan Franks and Chris and Jared over from the podcast movement team. Now, what does that have to do with Pokemon? Well, it was interesting. They reached out to me during the pandemic and said, Pat, are you thinking of doing FlynnCon again? And I said, well, we were thinking about it, but it got canceled. And we had to reschedule. We had to reschedule again. And all signs point to no. And plus, I felt a desire to try something new in the world of live events whenever that could happen again. And that's when we started to chat about the Pokemon channel that was growing so quickly. And I found that there was no event like what we're putting together, right? There's many other entrepreneurial events, and I would like to say that FlynnCon, which happened in 2019, was fairly unique, but there was nothing that existed for the Pokemon community outside of, trading card game, the actual game events. But for fans and creators to come together, for the collectors who also had kids who wanted to have activities to take part in, I wasn't seeing it. It's what I wanted, and I wasn't seeing it. So I said, you know what? I've run an event before. I have some resources, and wow, this team is offering to help. Let's make it happen. And now we're 1 month out, and every day we're having, 2 or 3 calls, it seems. People are reaching out with questions, and there are unknowns. And, even today, I'm just going to be honest, not everything is figured out yet. Not everything is figured out. Things are getting figured out. Just the other day, I got an email from Guinness. No, not the beer company. The World Record Company. Guinness World Records. Because we are going to be setting a world record to start off the show tomorrow, which will be the 10th. And we're going to have the most packs of Pokemon cards or any trading card game opened simultaneously. And this will be a way to bring the whole community together to start off the show with a bang and to say, hey, we're different. And guess what? You've already made a mark here. You're a part of the world record. And I'm really excited for that. It wasn't cheap just to get an adjudicator there, but I'm hoping it goes down the way it should and the way that I'm hoping. So anyway, I'm just kind of unloading here so I can make myself feel better, because I do go through daily now a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of nervousness, and then I channel that nervous energy into positive energy, and then it's like a roller coaster. Every day I wonder if something was missed. I wonder if something I'm thinking of doing is going to get not really the reaction that I'm hoping for. But at the same time, I think back to all those other things that I mentioned earlier, from the podcast to the blog to speaking to books to courses to whatever. That nervousness always put me in a position to do well, because it made me step up to make sure that those things that I was worried about had a less likely chance of happening. And in this case, it's always about experience. I've written about this in Superfan. It's the experiences that you create for people over time. And I'm hoping that this event will run again next year. And of course, we'll learn from the things that happen. I am excited and also nervous for the content that's going to be created after this event is over. I attended another event last year where immediately after there were several videos from creators who were at that event, and they were honest, and some good things to say, some not so good things to say, and I'm hoping that we get the same. Yes, good things and not so good things, hopefully in a respectful manner, but those not so good things are just as important because it will allow me to better position year 2 to address those things, to make sure that doesn't happen, whatever it might be, or to put something in place so that those experiences can be different. It'll allow me to work with others and perhaps even that person who has a complaint or a disagreement or a particular experience. I can reach out to them and help hopefully make the situation right. Again, I'm speaking as if something's already happening that's going to go wrong, and I expect it, but I'm going to do my best to not let those things happen. So we're leaving no stone unturned in our planning process, but there still might be some pebbles here and there. And we'll see, everybody. I don't know if you could hear it in my voice, but about a month out now, it's one of those things that I know is going to come and go really quickly. But I hope that it is an amazing experience for everybody, as hopefully it is an amazing experience for me. And I hope that for you, the listener, this shows you a couple things. Number one, in my book, Superfans, I talk about the idea of bringing your community together when you can facilitate those interactions between members of your community who all share a common interest, a common goal, a common enemy. That can do nothing but heighten your brand and increase your authority in a space as a byproduct. But at the same time, you get a much closer connection to your people and are better able to serve them also. And it's cool because you can be somebody who's, a nobody and become a somebody by bringing those somebodies together, right? There's so much value in being a connector. And I hope that being a connector in this space and a person who serves this audience just as much as I try to serve you as well, I hope that the rewards are there. And the rewards to me come in thank yous, in handwritten notes, in people sharing it and wanting to come back. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, to come back and bring a friend, right? And then we could double, triple, quadruple the size. And, I've had a lot of people say, Pat, this is just a money grab. And the funny thing is, there's a very good chance that we're going to lose money on this because of all we're putting into year 1. And yes, there are sponsors. Yes, we've sold a lot of tickets, but this event costs about $500,000 to put on. At least the budget's telling us that. And it could cost more. Hopefully not. And any profits that are made are just going to go into year 2. I don't need the extra money. And we're just trying to build something amazing here. But all signs point to this is definitely not a money-making decision. And I'm happy to share that spreadsheet down the road for sure, because I think a lot of people can learn from it and hopefully see that, we're building for experiences. And we know that if we do that, good things will come down the road. So anyway, just a lot of me unloading for you. And yeah, I hope it's going well right now. At the time of this recording being published, I'm probably frantically running around somewhere in Anaheim, California, and probably have one of the biggest smiles I've ever had on my face. Because when you plan something and it's executed and people show up, pretty amazing things can happen. So anyway, I appreciate y'all for listening in. I want to wish you all the best. Good luck, future Pat. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll chat with you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Smart Passive Income podcast at smartpassiveincome.com. I'm your host, Pat Flynn. Sound editing by Duncan Brown. Our senior producer is David Grabowski, and our executive producer is Matt Gartland. The Smart Passive Income podcast is a production of SPI Media and a proud member of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network. Catch you next week. Hey, fellow podcaster, does this sound like something you've experienced? You record your podcast episode on one platform, download the files, edit in another app, then fire up a different tool just to create these social clips? Well, it can be clunky, time-consuming, and frankly overwhelming, especially for creators trying to grow. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Riverside. Riverside is the all-in-one platform. Record, edit, and repurpose your podcast content all in one place. You just log in, record with your guests no matter where you are in the world, and just like that, studio-quality audio and high-resolution video We use Riverside here at SPI as well now. With built-in AI, I can automatically clean up my audio, saving myself so much editing time, and it can even auto-generate clips to make promoting the show a breeze. And with Magic Clips, I can grab the best moments and repurpose them as short-form video, perfect for YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or Instagram, without re-recording a thing. So if you're tired of juggling tools and want a faster, simpler way to create and scale your content, it's time to try Riverside, built by creators for creators. Just go to smartpassiveincome.com/Riverside and use code SMART to get 1 month free on the Pro plan. That's smartpassiveincome.com/Riverside, promo code SMART. Have you dreamt about being your own boss, but still haven't made the first steps to making that dream a reality? Well, I get that. Starting a business can feel super overwhelming with legal forms, paperwork, finances. It's a lot. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Taylor Brands. Taylor is a complete business builder designed to make launching your business simple and stress-free. You can register your LLC in just minutes, keeping your personal assets and the business assets separate from day one. From there, you get access to everything you need to get off the ground. Legal documents, licenses and permits, invoicing and bookkeeping tools, and even a 100-day business coaching program, all designed to help you hit the ground running. You'll also get a free, personalized business plan, branding tools, and so much more. And of course, listeners of this show get an exclusive 35% discount to get started. All you have to do is head to taylorbrands.com/SPI. That's TAILORBRANDS.com/SPI. Stop dreaming, start building with Taylor Brands.